Today, I'm reviewing some flathead earbuds. We're looking at the NiceHCK EBX25Ti. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? David here from Prime Audio Reviews. Let me show you the EBX. I'm just going to call them the EBX because the name is a bit long. Mind you, there was an earlier version simply called the EBX, but remember this is the 25Ti version, Ti meaning titanium. These are coming in at a price, a pretty hefty price of $329 US. So that is pretty up there, pretty premium in the price for some flatheads. But that is what they look like. They have a really, really lovely finish. It is aircraft grade titanium alloy shells, supposedly. They've got this beautiful smooth matte finish on them. Very low key design, but I think they look stylish, really sleek. They're pretty small, as you can see, and underneath we've got some MMCX connectors, color coded of course, red for right, blue for left, which would be that way around. But yeah, pretty darn nice. In terms of comfort, they're really good too. By the way, inside of the box, you get a really nice carrying case, with a zipper case, and you get a bunch of foam covers. You get the donut foams, you get the regular foams. You also get a couple of one pair of silicone rings. Do whatever you got to do to get the best fit. For me, I prefer them naked like this. Let's have a look at this cable now, and in the box there is also this lovely magnetic cable strap, but this is the cable. It is fabric braided, 6N OCC copper mixed with silver plated copper. There's the color coded MMCX connectors there. It's available in either a 4.4mm balanced or 3.5mm single ended termination. It's a pretty nice cable. It does what it's supposed to do, and pretty good in terms of handling without microphonics and all that stuff. But let's get back to these earbuds. Talk about the sound. By the way, I forgot to mention, inside of here we've got a 14.2mm beryllium-plated dynamic driver. So pretty large dynamic driver in there. The earbuds are quite efficient. They don't need a powerful source, so you can plug them into just about anything. We're looking at 32 ohms impedance and sensitivity of 117 decibels. So about the sound signature, these have got basically a clean sort of neutral bright sound with a strong emphasis on clarity. The upper mid-range is kind of the star of the show here. Gives vocals and instruments a really vivid and forward presentation. It doesn't actually sound shouty though, despite having that upper mid-range focus. I don't really find them shouty to listen to. The mids in general are really crystal clear with excellent separation and low distortion, which results in a very transparent and a detailed sound, especially for a flathead earbud like this. Now, the bass, as expected with earbuds, is fairly light in impact. However, the sub-bass reaches surprisingly deep, so it's got good sub-bass extension, but there is not a lot in the way of slam or punch. The low end, however, is tight and clean. It's more about subtle texture than outright physicality, and this kind of tuning leans more towards mid-range enthusiasts rather than bass lovers. The treble is smooth and non-fatiguing. It's a little bit more forward than I'm used to on earbuds, flathead earbuds again, but at the same time, there's no harshness in the treble. If you're going to be sensitive to any particular area, probably be the upper mids, and I'm usually a bit sensitive to that, but for these, or with these, for some reason, it doesn't really bother me. So treble is smooth, not fatiguing, with a gentle shimmer. Of course, there's plenty of air and openness. Being an earbud like this, you get that nice, wide, expansive sound stage because you get a lot of sound leaking, sound leakage coming in, I mean. But the treble complements the overall tuning well. It keeps it engaging without pushing into the harshness, like I said. And while it's not hyper detailed, I think the EBX25Ti, it balances clarity and smoothness nicely. So it's a pretty easy to listen to, and it's pretty pleasant at the same time. Nice mid-range quality, great for vocals. The bass quality is really good. It doesn't, of course, have that big slam in, that huge impact, but it is definitely well-controlled bass. And of course, if you do want to introduce a bit of warmth into the sound, you can use the foam covers, and that's what the foam covers will do. They'll warm things up a bit. But now let's do a bit of a comparison, and I'm going to pull in this one here. I should have removed the cable first. This is the Yukotech ESP3, and it's another lovely flathead earbud. This one comes in at $269, and at the time when I reviewed these, I thought that price was pretty steep, but compared to, what did I say, $329 for the NiceHCK one here, the Yukotech starts to look pretty reasonable, especially when you factor in this chunky cable. Have a look at that. It's chunky as your mama's beef casserole. Check that out. Really, really nice cable. MMCX again as well. So in terms of build quality, the Yukotech looks far more intricately engineered in terms of shells. The ESP3, by the way, has a fairly massive 15.4 millimeter double dome dynamic driver. So 15.4 compared to 14.2 on the NiceHCK. Yeah, there is one thing unusual about the Yukotech, and that is its impedance. It's got 165 ohm impedance. That sounds pretty large. Let me just double check that real quick. Yeah, 165 ohms. So you really need a fairly beefy source to get the optimal sound out of the ESP3. Now, in terms of tuning, the ESP3 leans towards a slightly more relaxed and a more balanced sound signature. It has less sub-bass depth, but a fuller mid-bass and a fuller lower mid-range as well, which gives it a slightly warmer and weightier presentation. On the other hand, the EBX has a noticeably brighter tonality and noticeably more clarity and detail as well. Both earbuds have a similarly sized soundstage. The Yukotech here has got this sort of large slit, whereas the NiceHCK has got these series of little perforations down there. So the EBX places a bit more emphasis on treble energy and articulation. Overall, I think the ESP3, well, you'd have to say it's better value for money, especially if you're looking for a sort of smooth, richer sound. That said, it does demand a capable source, whereas the NiceHCK is easier to drive, and this one will please people looking for clarity and detail and a little bit more energy in the treble. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the NiceHCK EBX25Ti. Look, this is a very nice earbud. I've had a really nice time listening to it. I would have liked to compare it with my FIO earbuds, but for some reason they failed on me critically. They are completely dead. But yeah, look, I think the price is a little steep. But having said that, these do have some of the best clarity that I've heard in a flathead earbud. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are you into these kind of things, or do you prefer in-ear monitors? Let me know. But I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, PAR Family Audiophile style. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button before you go. And until next time, I'll see you later.